Let me reset. Let me reset. I'm going to pretend that I haven't been filming for an hour and that it hasn't just not recorded, because that's exactly what happened. I knew this had to happen at some point, but I just didn't think it would be today on like an extremely hot day. I was gonna film because I thought it would be like overcast, so like kind of hot, like sunny, but also not hot in temperature. That's not the case. It's extremely hot right now. I'm losing my mind because of the heat. Dog's been barking all day and the camera hasn't been recording. And there's cockroaches coming out of my sink. Can't even go on my rant. I basically have like an audio file that's an hour long of me crying about the cockroaches coming out of the sink because I turned the tap on and 2 male cockroaches came out. Male. And then they just proceeded to like slowly creep out of the sink. I think one is still in there. They were living in there. They were living in the sink. And my thing is, those were only males. There were 2 males, first of all. Sus. Second of all, where are the females? Because now I'm thinking, what do cockroaches do? They pair up, usually. We're not talking about it anymore. Let's look on the bright side. The bright side was that they were Cape cockroaches, not American ones. So they don't fly. At least we have that. At least we have that. So what are we doing? We are repotting and attempting to plant style. So right now I've got, well, ignore this for a second. I've got some pots, some, what's this called? Ceramic, some ceramic. And I've got some rocks for like vibes, I guess. I just need to move past it. I need to move past the lost footage because it's gone. It's gone and it's fine. It's fine. Makoka. And then I've got this, which I planned. This is Anthurium palmatum in need of a repot. Let me try and show you. But initially I wanted something with like tall vertical height to put in this because it's like, it's giving vertical. But then I couldn't, why are you wet? I couldn't find something tall. And I also figure that where the palmatum lives is a good spot for this. So it's kind of on a bookshelf. And because this is a tall pot, I figure it'll be better for this to droop over more. So that was my pairing decision for that one. These are cash pose. So I was gonna put something that was already in a pot in these. This is a tree. Don't know if you noticed. So this will have to go in like a hot windowsill somewhere. Basically the story with this is an Acer palmatum. I already repotted it and I went through, you know what, I need to change my energy right now because it's just gonna be like negative vibes. I need a second to woosah. I hate this neighborhood. I hate this neighborhood with everything I have. I hate the people who live here. It's always noise. It's 24/7 noise. Woosah, woosah, woosah. Anyways, we've also got some moss as top dressing. I would get like hummus, akadama, but I didn't have time to buy some. Oh my god, there's worms. There's worms in there. Not gonna address that. I didn't have time to buy like proper bonsai substrate, so I'm just gonna stick with what I have, what I use for like all my other stuff, which is cocoa coir chunks and perlite, and then I also put in some slow release. I don't know how that's gonna mesh with the moss, but I'll just try and put it under the moss, I guess. Under there you go. Okay, what else? I've got some sphagnum. Maybe we do some poles if we have time. Honestly, it just depends. Can you see? It's heavy, so I can't like pick it up. Also, it's dripping water. Not ideal. So what have I done? I've basically done every newbie mistake that you could do with a bonsai. I did watch about 3 bonsai videos in preparation for this. 3 videos on the top 5 mistakes that beginner bonsai people make. And I watched it and I thought, I'm gonna do all of those because I'm not a bonsai guy. I just want a tree in a pot with moss. And that's what I did. That's basically what I did. So ideally, if you are interested, although I don't know why you would be here for bonsai advice. I'm not a bonsai guy. I can't stress that enough. But I can tell you what they tell you not to do, which is what I've done. Basically all of them. So number one was when you get your bonsai, like a starter bonsai, that's what this came in, the size. What you want to do is put it in a bigger pot. Not like way big, but like as you would with a normal plant. You want some maturity, some size on it first before you put it in like your tiny little like fancy pot. The whole point of bonsai is a nice thick stem, basically this part. The whole effect that you want where you get your like big mature tree in a tiny pot comes from the thickness of the stem. So what you're trying to do when you first get it is thicken up that stem. If you immediately put it in a tiny pot like this, you're not going to do that. You're basically like stunting it. So when you first get like a starter bonsai, what you want to do is pot it up, not down. Ideally, you would prune it harder than this. But because I still want this to have like kind of, I'm going for like more of a vertical shape. Granted, this tree isn't very tall. I'm kind of trying to keep it going out rather than up. We'll see how that goes, but I didn't trim a lot off just because, you know, I think it takes time to consider what you want to take off and what you don't. And I would just be sitting here like looking at the tree for God knows how long. Basically, this is done. I can trim it at another point. I really hope my mic isn't picking up the laptop fan because it's so fucking loud right now. Basically, that's what I did. I trimmed off a little bit of the roots just because the roots were quite bound. It was a little bit root bound. I put it in here with a little bit of wire just to hold the tree down. It's not bonsai wire, so it might rust. I have no idea. This is what not to do, mind you. This is what not to do. And then I top dressed with some moss. I'm gonna try my best to keep that moss looking as green as it does because it looks really nice. I'll do like a close-up when I'm done with Alice. Let's do our next one. And I'm gonna periodically check that we are still filming because I am traumatized at this point. So that was the bonsai. I guess thankfully I didn't do this one yet. Palmatum. This one's been growing really nicely. And I forgot to insert what our inspo pics are. So our inspo pics, I'm gonna put them up right now. I'm also trying to imagine / remember what they look like. Okay, let's do this one. Also, shout out to Willie who gave me this pot. That was really nice of you. It's a really nice pot. I love it. I'm obsessed. And I'm putting the palmatum in it. I'll do that. Do you guys want to see the roots? Can you see from there? I can't bring it closer because then it's going to drip onto the laptop, and the laptop is so problematic already. I did a little rant as well on like the new iPhone that came out and how silly it is that people would pay that much for a phone. I mean, to put that in perspective, my laptop that I've had for years, it's a MacBook Pro from like, I've had it like since before uni basically. And as with everyone else in my year, we also had, I think, the same one. And when we started doing like 3D stuff, my lecturer was like, you guys are gonna struggle with these silly little MacBooks. And we were like, what do you mean? I just got the MacBook. What do you mean it's not strong enough to render? But he was completely right. And eventually I did end up building my own PC. Highly recommend, by the way. It's really not hard at all. I would liken it to Legos. If you've ever done anything with Legos, building a PC is basically the same. So I highly recommend. But here's my selling point. The total cost of the PC, and it's, you know, it's like a budget, but it's also good enough to do some pretty decent gaming and video editing and rendering if that's what you do. I didn't get it for gaming at all. I got it for 3D rendering and video editing, and I reckon if it can do all of those really well, it's a pretty decent machine. And that was like 25k, and the new iPhone is 30k for a phone that can do what your phone already does. That price is outrageous, and the worst thing is that people will pay it. I'm one of those people who I will use the phone until it fully conks out, even sometimes past when it's conked out. Okay, so we've done this one. This one was really quick. I'm just a little bit concerned that there's like air pockets, gaps in there, but I'm viciously water that in and hope those gaps get filled. That's Miss Palmatum. I'm not going to top dress her just because she's on a bookshelf and no one's going to be able to see that anyways. So I'm just gonna lust the top dressing on this one. Miss Palladiflorum. Highly recommend if you can get your hands on one. They grow really quickly, they're really easy. But I would say that about most Anthuriums, to be honest. Oh wait, I was keeping that as decor. Put the other decor on the side while we continue. Decor, kind of. Now, what do we want for this one? Something that'll stay small for long, hopefully. Let me look behind. Should we try another Anthurium in it or last that? Because the Anthuriums I tend to... Oh my god, posture! The Anthuriums I tend to pot fairly regularly, so I don't think I'm going to put an Anthurium in there. Maybe I'll do a Hoya? That would be nice. A Hoya. Oh, and look, this one's the perfect size. The perfect size. Look at that. Look at that, it's perfect. Should we even bother like unpotting it or whatever? You know what, this could use an uppot. This could use an uppot. I've been worried about this pot because I am a little bit clumsy. If I look at this design, these like cute little leaf ears, worried about chipping them off. So I tried to touch this pot as little as possible just to lower the chance of that happening because I do break things. Okay, we got it out. This was Hoya cronana, by the way. One was like a spare prop that I abandoned on the table. Ideally, I wouldn't want to cover the design. I do like that cascading look, you know, like kind of like its hair. So we'll go for that. I think this will do really well in the spot that I was thinking about for it. I suppose it's good we had to refilm because there was this cat meowing, which was setting Max off. And mind you, my neighbor over there, he doesn't have any cats. Like, I don't know who they belong to. They're kind of like hobo cats, in fact, because nobody in my neighborhood gets their cats fixed, which is a problem because they start making babies with the next door's cat, and then like these cats that are walking around, you're like, where did that one come from? It's a little bit frustrating. I won't go into it. I wish people would take cats as seriously as dog owners take dogs. That's my qualm. Maybe one day it'll happen. I think some people out there get cats because they think they would be easier than dogs, but they're really not. Like, there's honestly no such thing as an easy pet. All of them are difficult and take up a lot of time and energy. So for the love of God, just get your cat fixed. Okay, that's that one. Oh, I didn't even notice. I put a silver plant in the cool tone summer planter. Let's try and get some of the hair out of the face. Now she's got hair. And I'm gonna water everything at the end, so Muni worry me. Muni worry me. Okay, what do we want to do next? Oh, I was gonna tell you, if you've made it this far into the video, I think you deserve this little tidbit. So actually, I wasn't gonna blow up my spot like this, but if you've made it this far into the video, I think you deserve. Where do I get really cheap ceramic from? These are cups, technically. They don't have holes, but you could put holes in them if you wanted. These are from Pep Home. That is my spark planter, also from Pep Home. Super cheap, super cheap. Now, ideally, I would be pro support your local ceramicist, but I'm very poor at the moment. I cannot afford to support my local ceramicist. So I get the mass-produced garbage from Pep Home. And we all lived happy ever after. And these I wanted to talk about. Oh my god, stop falling! These are the Fuzzy Roots poles that I figure since it's in front of me, I might as well put them together right now. These are the specific design that I've been looking for everywhere. Closest you can get to these are those like crappy Shein ones. I like this design better. I think it's gonna take me out of my anti-moss pole era. What would you call this? The grate. The grate on this is obviously thinner. It's like a grid. Would you call this a grid? Grid. I prefer this design to the Shein poles because, granted, I haven't used the Shein poles personally. I don't support Shein, so don't like them because I think it gives you a little bit less leeway in terms of like where the plant has a chance to root into the pole. With these thinner grids or mesh or whatever you want to call them, you have a lot more surface area that your plant can root into. I'm still deciding which plants I want to put on the poles. Since I'm here and we're doing plant chores, we might as well. I'm trying to calm down from the lost footage because it is still bothering me, and I tried to woosah, but I was watching this YouTube video, this guy explaining how he got this camera. His Sony camera has this feature that allows you to like double back up your recordings essentially. Right now this experience is making me think of those. The only thing that I'm happy about right now is that the lighting is better. Like if I look at it now, we were overexposed in the first hour of this video. The first hour that you didn't see, mind you. Let me do this on the oud table so you can kind of see. But it's super simple. You just zip tie the edges. Did I say why I prefer this design? I think I'm having a stroke. The grids are smaller. And also, this like clear plastic backing, this is the perfect thickness for a moss pole that you would want. If you want a nice sturdy pole, you want something that's a little bit thick. If you've seen the table behind me and how lanky almost everything is, you know by now I have an anti-moss pole problem. Part of that was actually just because I couldn't find a design that I really liked that I thought would be able to work. So initially I had like this, I'll show you right now, it's sitting over there. It's like gutter guard. I mean, it is a gutter guard. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll know what I'm talking about. It's this thing. So essentially, I would like make the pole out of this stuff and then fill it up with sphagnum. The problem with this is that it doesn't hold moisture at all. When you forget to water it, your moss is like hydrophobic for God knows how long. And it's really hard to get it back to a state where it will like accept moisture again. Honestly, this design was a godsend. If you do watch Sydney Plant Guy, you would notice that this particular design is very close to those grow vertical poles. That's essentially what I've been looking for this whole time. I think this is the year that I get into moss poles. Shout out Fuzzy Roots for making that possible. Again, like apologies if you can hear the laptop fan. Once she's going, she's going. That's Apple for you. I think I'm on an anti-Apple agenda right now after losing my footage like that. I actually need to like make an order for more at some point. Let me decide what to do with these. These I think are probably double a ruler, right? 90 centimeters, I'm not sure. These are long, like these are decently long. I'm just now realizing I haven't had anything to eat. And I'm doing this to myself yet again. Let's see how much pole this one bag fills up, because I'm looking at this and I think it's not even going to use that like an excessive amount. There's quite a lot of moss in this pole right now. I'm almost done and the bag is not like close to being done. I saw the new Demon Slayer when it came out. I think it was the first night it came out. That's definitely what the theater felt like. There were like these two, well, it was like a group of millennials. So this group of millennials that were like sat behind us in the theater at Demon Slayer, they were making all the noise. I guess, anime fans. Anime fans are the worst. And like for that reason, I wouldn't categorize myself as an anime fan just because the freaking like reputation is so bad. I don't know if it's like a theater etiquette problem or an anime fan problem. People in this Demon Slayer theater were so bad. You know what? I'll fill it up till there and then the rest I'll do with like... So then on top of the loud millennials, and mind you, I did look behind me and just to look at them, just to see who was making that much noise, you know, get an idea of age demographic. They were old and they were like the most obnoxious people in the theater. But apart from that, there were these two, you know, if you were in that theater by now, you would know who I'm talking about. There were like these two girls. I didn't even get a look at them because they scrammed immediately when the lights came on. They were like basically narrating the movie. They were doing that thing that kids do where they talk to the character on the screen as if they're going to talk back. Despite these disturbances, the movie was good. That was really a miracle, because one would think two women who are talking to the characters, screaming actually. There was a scene where a character takes a really long time to pass away, let's say. They are screaming at the top of their voices, like at the character on the screen. I had to go outside and reconnect with nature after that happened. In fact, that's what I'm doing right now. I am reconnecting with the plants. It was just so bad. Anime fans. Maybe it's like main character syndrome. I think it might be that actually. It's like a sense of nobody, I don't know. You know what? I don't even want to put myself in the mindset of these people. I don't. I just think anime fans need to, they need to reconnect with God, maybe. Anyways, that's the poll. That filled up quite a lot. Movie was good. If you are thinking of seeing it, maybe wait till the anime fans die down. That was movie number 1. Movie number 2, Weapons. Now, if you're a horror fan, this was more of a thriller. Weapons is a good movie. If you're thinking about seeing it, I'll be honest with you, I allegedly schmirated it. Allegedly. I think it's a good movie. It's got Julia Garner. She's a really good actor. Josh Brolin's also in it. The crazy thing about Josh Brolin is I have no idea how old that man is. Considering, like, I watched The Goonies last year for the first time. He's in that, granted as a teenager, but it still makes you think, like, wow, Josh Brolin is old. But then you look at him and he doesn't look that old. But we'll say Josh Brolin, who seems unproblematic, we'll say it's good karma. Please don't make me eat my words, Josh Brolin. So my recommended right now is not the Catfish documentary. I would much rather, what I did was I actually watched Kenny JD, watched her video on the Catfish documentary, Mospol Numero Doc. I actually have really good taste in film and TV, so if I give you a recommendation, you actually need to watch it. I'm not just recommending it for funsies, I'm giving you homework to do. Seedling update. These are begonia seeds. I sowed these in the middle of winter. I believe it was the middle of winter. And somehow they sprouted. A growth update because I did recently take the lids off them. They are now in carport conditions, what we call carport conditions because we're in the carport. There's a little bit of acclimation damage. I still can't really tell what anything is. I'm leaning towards the druggy with these. These are, I believe, begonia drugii or druggy as I call it. Because I didn't think these would work when I sowed them. So naturally I didn't bother to label them at all. They kind of just resemble weeds at this point. And then there's this one. Thank God I did label this. This is Maculata whitei. One, I did try to pollinate some of the Maculata. It's actually that one over there. That Maculata back there. I did try to cross it with some, I think it was Chloristicta pollen. I don't know if it took though. I didn't keep track of any of the flowers, so be Maculata by Maculata. That's Maculata whitei. Still extremely tiny. Something fun. So these are other ones that I decided to sow. I sowed them ages ago, but they took a really long time to like actually pop up. This is Chloristicta. It might be Chloristicta self, or it might be Chloristicta by druggy. I think it's self though. I think it's Chloristicta by self. Those tiny little sprigs, I think you can kind of see them. A little bit more interested in, just because it could be Chloristicta by self, but if it's not, it could be something way more interesting. The video kind of went sideways today. The lost footage of the bonsai. I'm trying my best to woosah. Like, I have to make sure that never happens again, because losing an hour's worth of footage is no joke. And the worst part is that my mic was recording the whole time, so now I just have an hour's worth of audio, no footage. What the hell am I gonna do with that? I'm trying my best to move past it. So what have we done? We did the bonsai. We did the palmatum. I really like the way the palmatum looks. I mean the bonsai too, but the palmatum, like, I really think I popped off with this pairing. It's like confirming to me that I need to start styling my plants better. Like, actually. Because I really like the way all of this looks, and I haven't been putting this much effort into styling at all. The Makoka has the Hoya cronana in it. Hoya cronana is like such a weedy Hoya, by the way. And then we did our moss poles as well. It's the only way you're ever going to get me to buy a moss pole is if it was this specific design, not the Shein garbage. Normalized not supporting Temu, because what the hell do we need dropship nonsense for? So that was what we did today. I'm just gonna make this my thumbnail because I can't be asked. Anyways, what's my ending note gonna be? Don't buy the new iPhone. My other ending note is gonna be try to lower your screen time this month. Try and do that. I'm gonna try and do that. I have been on the internet way too much recently. I recently learned what a groper is. That word should not be in my vocabulary. Not at all. Don't even go down that hole. Go outside more, get off my phone, lower the screen time. And for those people who are like, I'm not doing the TikTok thing, but I'm on Insta Reels, it's the same thing. Get off all of it. Don't substitute one for the other. Just get off it, all of it. Get offline, because it is that damn phone. But obviously watch my videos. Just come online to watch the videos and then immediately leave. That's my advice. Okay, bye.